You know what I'm saying? The way that men think, the way that men carry themselves. Like, and I see it actually. I can recognize a certain aspect of society where I feel like man has lost its edge. You know what I mean? And I've felt that within myself. You know what I mean? You know, I've had to like almost recondition myself. And I'm in the process of that. And it's not about like, the whole concept of like, I think sometimes when people think masculine, they think of something that's so, it could turn violent. I think that's the fear. Masculine leadership, law and order, power. It's kind of like an imperative in being a man. It's on the extremity of it. And I think that that's why whoever, the, I think the people that have already kind of conquered this simulation and kind of created this simulation already put that in play. You know what I'm saying? They're already in place, and so we're kind of in a game that can be changed, it can be manipulated, but that takes strength and courage, it takes drive, and that's the whole being trouble. But for the most part, there's like it's a culture that we're kind of all being like, just I think through the mass proliferation of the media, LGBTQ, toxic masculinity. So yeah, fuck all that shit. I don't even want to be able to say it. It's like not toxic. I think toxic masculinity isn't being toxic masculinity is being like a weak man, not in control of your emotions and in control of like yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like that's being toxic. But like the definition of the man. I feel like maybe is the definition of the man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something I'm always asking myself. Like, this is who I am. This is what I am. And I think like when I think, I'm like not even just what I think. The more I've changed my thinking, I recognize the more I grab hold of my mind instead of critically thinking and logically looking at the world and being more in control of myself and having more like what's the word called? Agency. I love the word agency. Having more agency over my like beingness in this simulation. I feel like gives me more control of like just my of like of my destiny. And so like that's and like with like the masculine imperatives of just like honor, nobility, self-control. It's like you're not nobody's perfect, but it's like as long as we're reaching for that, it's like the army, the military type mindsets, you know, the mafia, fucking Boy Scouts, you know what I'm saying, gangs, you know what I'm saying, like it's just like on the set, it's just like codes type shit. There's certain things, right? And I feel like there's not like a culture there's a culture for that. I think that's coming back. The pendulum is swinging, of course. And I think that's a good thing because you know what? Maybe the pendulum could swing to the extreme. There's always going to be an extreme, but maybe that's going to have a balance. Maybe what society, the whole woke, this whole agenda, this whole feminization, maybe on the bright side is that maybe it will balance us as people. You know what I mean? And man will have will be in control of his emotions and like his life and his purpose, like knowing himself and shit. And so like the more we are like that, the more productive we are for society, the more society will improve. You know what I'm saying? There'll be more of a higher standards. And I feel like I'm having a good ass time talking to y'all. It's been a pleasure just being here. Yeah. You know, I think too, I know that this is one thing I know is that the reason why we have to like I don't know but like yeah I'm in the Illuminati. See, people are gonna accept this and be like, see, you said it. I'm really not. But then I thought about it. I was like, maybe everybody's in the Illuminati. I was like, we're all in the Illuminati. That's the thing. That's the game. We're in it. You just work at the lower levels of it. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's in the Illuminati. We're just like we're the base of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Well, there's levels within the base, right? But that's kind of like what it is. I think like the more I recognize that, I'm like, maybe there's another perspective. You know what I'm saying? Rather than looking at it from like this evil agenda, look at it as like, look, the game is changing, the board is changing. The board is getting more colorful. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. How are you gonna adapt to to this change in the jungle? You know what I'm saying? Whether that's like helping you and it's allowing you to be yourself. I don't know. Some people can thrive in that. You know what I'm saying? LGBTQ. If you are LGBTQ, you're gay, you're homosexual, whatever you are. I feel like this is the time to run it up. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually it'll be so normalized to the point that like it's like it won't even matter. It won't even be like a form of clout. Like I feel like right now it's still clout. You can still like you can still get like opportunities because it's more of a community and it's more mainstream now. And so and it's like there's a lot of support around it because it's like there's civil rights attached to it. And you know what I'm saying, for good reason. And so it's just a winning agenda, whether it's an agenda or it is an agenda, because it's like one day you wake up, there's no rainbow flags, and that's not normal. And the next thing you see rainbow flags everywhere, and then you don't see American flags. You're like, something's changing, you know. And I feel like, you know what? I have control over myself. Period. That's it. Everything else, and I can affect my reality by seeing the world and working with it, but at the same time being true to myself, you know what I'm saying, and not allowing myself to like, you know, fucking sell out, bro. Succumb to the pressure of not being your true self. You know what I mean? Allowing people to disrespect you so that you can, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know anything about disrespect you, but like, it's like you can not be someone living an authentic life. And that's like a common thing. That's normalized now. I think that's a problem. And I think that's one of the downsides, the side effects to this, you know, the betification, the pussification of mankind. Rainbow flags everywhere. But really, it's really what it is, the pussification. I think like maybe there is some like beautiful gems you get out of, you know, having power over your emotions and emotional control. So I think that like that's one thing like that's good, but it may be too far away. And I'm like, maybe there's another piece is like finding the balance. But I feel like the opportunity. I think that it's like, yeah. The opportunity is that. I mean, it's like defense. If man is more on his heels playing defense, then you got to run up the scope. You know what I'm saying? You got to up the scope. You know what I'm saying? You got to just like attack the hoop. But there's an art form, you know what I'm saying, to offense and defense. It's part of the game. But like, you already know defense very well, which is kind of like what our society is kind of playing off. People are playing defense offense. You know what I'm saying? People are playing defense offense. And I think that's, no, but I feel like people are not even playing defense offense. That's probably the secret, is to be defense offense in this world. Just to see, we're going to need to be defense offense. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on the person. But you got to know how to play defense really well, because people are more passive aggressive. So it's, you know, and so the problem is when people are playing defense, it's like sneaky defense. It's like, it's kind of trick plays. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like, because maybe the world is becoming more a little softer, more feminine, you like with women, it's like women are different than men, obviously, right? And so they think different. They have different stimulus to emotions and topics and words. Same thing with man. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different genders. So it's like, we all have it. All genders have something that connects that to it. And I think like, you know, boom. The thing is, what you gotta do is see that and be like, okay, if people are more defensive, then it's probably gonna give you so much more momentum and attention to be the type of human who's playing offense. But playing offense with grace, because the thing with humans is it's not just a competitive game, it's a collaboration. It is competitive, whole thing is competitive. But teams are what win. You have to have a team to win. No one wins without a team. Everybody has a team. Like all true winners are working with a team of people. And so you gotta work together. Pull your money together, pull your energy. Because each person is like a clone of each other. And when you're working together, so imagine if you clone yourself. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking the most wildest thing, and I'm never gonna say it right now. Maybe one day I'll say it, but I'm not about to say it right now. Whoa, that was so wild. My mind just went there. It was funny. It's interesting. I mean, think about it. The truth is, logically speaking, we're in a capitalistic game. This world is the setup is a capitalist simulation is based on capitalism. And I believe that like how they control us is they have the people at the bottom of the capitalistic structure thinking like socialists. So everything is equal. And so when everything is equal, when everything's equal and people feel like everything has to be this one way and they try to force this thing, I think that like creates censorship, it creates, sensitivity, it's passive aggressiveness where people are not really fully expressing themselves. I feel like, that makes people a little bit more on their heels because people are afraid. People are afraid of confrontation. Even though confrontation happens a lot, I think a lot of people are trying to like get along type shit. Everyone like and so like that's another thing. That's like a social thing. But from like a business aspect, if you look at your local business, you look at your neighborhood, and you see that the betification of mankind makes people play more defense, makes people a little risk averse. More feminization, the feminine mind naturally is evolutionarily more risk averse than a man is masculine. And I think it's the testosterone. So that's why more and more like we're the ones that are gonna like fucking go out into a field and like try to fucking build a plane and put like a fucking fire engine that we just made in our garage and put it on like the back of something and try to drive it. Like women naturally aren't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then where you could die or you could get hurt and drive it and like, women do that, but it's not like a natural thing. And that's like because women, that's like the risk averse thing. And so, what does that do what does that do to the game, the capitalist game? Is that most businesses are playing on defense. The businesses are not winning are the ones who are playing defense. So if you want to win, play more offense on offense, like double up on the offensive game because people are more on their heels. And do it with grace and class, and people will respect you. But what will happen is you'll stand out amongst a socialist crowd, and you'll easily stand out amongst a bunch of winners. So that's what it is when you look at a group of people, and you look at like a marketplace. You're like, okay, the economic market. Let's look at the local businesses. Boom. It's like, okay, you talk to the most of you, get a consensus. They're not really interested in doing marketing. So okay, what does that tell you? They're not really growing. You're not interested in doing marketing? Like every business does marketing. Like you're supposed to do. No, we just rely on it. It's kind of like this lackadaisical. You know what that means is that's because the business owners right now they're older now. You know what I'm saying? They are like millennials are coming in, but like it's the local small business owners that have been in business for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Or 5 years, 5, 10 years, but 20 years, 30-year businesses, and they have a revenue stream. So they don't see the benefit in marketing online. But here is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. The opportunity is that, like, look, if you look at, it's how much competition really is it if you're a business. If you have a local business, let's say you're, I don't know, what's something like, even if you're like a grocery store, it could be anything, anything. If you go to most businesses' Instagrams, most businesses are not running ads and creating content. Most business owners are not thinking like Walmart does. Walmart has a media company. They have cameramen, video. Maybe they outsource sometimes, but I would imagine that they have a media site. That's why they outmarket their competition. So if most of your competition isn't marketing that much, how hard, you don't have to pay that much money to outmarket them and take market share. And I feel like I should have like told them to move away. He's been going too close. But you know what? Yeah, by getting back on offense, being on offense, and so like that's one thing I'm working on spiritually as a physical unit. And I'm like, yo, that's the game, yo. You understand? Because like attention. What is marketing? Getting attention for your business. Attention equals money. Attention. People see you. It's all about exposure. Like that's what most artists are struggling. That's why we're in the clout era. It's all about clout. Clout is a social currency. It's like if you want to make more money, if you want to have more market share, more influence, more freedom, if you're an entrepreneur, more control, more like ability to do things, more power in this game, and determine more of your odds, then you're gonna need to be financially doing well, man. You know what I'm saying? And so like a business that, if most businesses are not even thinking like that, and there's only like 5 businesses you're competing with in your local market, how hard is it to outmarket them if none of them are marketing? There's only 5 of them. Or a business, even if you're in a mid-sized city, a suburban, whatever, you could be like, boom, it could be a I would say like a small mid to small size town like Beaverton, where you have a lot of competition, but it's not that much. You can get into these local neighborhoods. It's not hard to market your business. It's about content. And it's not hard to market your business in an affordable way. And I think that businesses are losing money by having employees stand around and just be a robot and just pay for like water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think like business owners should be like, they should be having their employees pulling their phones out, or maybe there's company phones, and you're making content, you're filming new products, you're showing what we got, you're getting on camera. Maybe they pay you a little more to do that because now they're bringing more attention. They're tagging the city. Maybe these people come in, you're like, hey, can you tag? If you tag us, we'll give you like a 20% discount on your Instagram. Maybe tag that you're eating here so that you're here. Tag that you like this place. Maybe, you know what I mean? Boom, now your business is growing. That's like the mindset, right? And now you can up your prices. So you don't have to deal with too many clients. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't have to deal with too many clients. You can up your prices. You know what I'm saying? So, or too many customers, Keep it the same. Just boom. And now your brand is growing. So now you have the leverage to up the prices, up the scope. Like, boom, man. It's not rocket science. But you know what? What I realize is that you can't convince somebody who doesn't want to move forward. You have to find that person. But at the end of the day, I realize, you know what? Also, is that I don't chase. I attract. I don't chase. I attract. That's my whole game. That's the whole game. That's not even my game. That is the game. That's one of the codes. If you're, you know what I'm saying? If you're chasing, you're losing. Because chasing means something is right. If anything you're chasing is obviously running away from you. So if you're chasing money, you're chasing the plus. You're chasing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the game. I think it's about, making yourself, giving yourself, I know, it's about giving yourself exposure. More people need to see you and hear about what you do and who you are and what your brand is and what your business is from an individual perspective. And that will put you in more eyes to find the people, find the customers who are, they're attracted, their attraction, their attention. They keep your attention and they're willing to pay. They want to pay. The more attention, the more people, the more eyeballs, And I think that that's one thing when it comes down to the social aspect of society is that if you look at the world, Like, and you're looking at people, you know, chasing after people is kind of what push. It's a retraction. But like, I think when you really are so in tune with who you are and what you're about, and you love yourself as a person, like you really trust yourself and you know yourself, and it's you're part of that process as a person, and you're not wandering and you're living in accordance to your purpose. What happens is it all like you stand out attention. You stand out. You get attention. People recognize you, and that's when you have to know how to capitalize. People have to know how to capitalize on attention. You know what I'm saying? And know how to do that do it in a way that, I mean, everyone has their own way of doing it. Everyone has their own way of doing it, but do it in a way that's authentic. You know what I'm saying? But, oh shit. Just, probably like, just hit your ass. You can't be chasing these hoes. You can't be chasing them, dog. You can't chase them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta become so magnetic that shit come to you. That's what I realized, man. That's the game, bro. And that's what it is with a business. Your business becomes more magnetic through posting content, creating a culture, telling your own story through that community. And then that's what attracts people to spend their money. You know what I mean? That's how you capitalize. That's how you capitalize. That's how you build a bigger brand. You know, I think that I look at it like this. Here's the other opportunity. So it's like, boom. It's not as a difficult thing to do when you look at most businesses. You're like, oh, most businesses are not marketing themselves like they should be. Most businesses are not, you know, going after it, getting after it. Wow, and there's only 4 or 5 of them. Yo, all we would have to do is just market it. Just do it. Do what they're not doing. And like, yeah, make it happen. We win. We win in that game, in the city, that marketplace. And that's the thing to realize. Like, I feel like a lot of business owners, they forget that this world, business owners, people, like, this is a collaborative game. Life is a collaborative game, but I think it's like a collaboration within a game. In a game, anything that's gamified has competition. So this whole game is a competition with collaboration involved. Like anything, like all sports, like anything in your life, like teamwork. And so remembering that and not knowing that logically, but not applying that and not living your life like that, and having that edge to want to, see this as like, yo, market share, taking market share, you need to get after it. People have more and more issues with that type of thinking. I don't know why, but I actually do know why. We can get into that another time. It's a deep conversation, but what it is like, it's a morality issue. Sometimes it's given a morality that's actually not. It's almost, it can make us weaker, it slow us down, pull us back, and then we'll justify it. It's crazy shit. But like, I think like that's a whole other different. That's a psychoanalytics of small businesses or average businesses. That's why I don't want to work with the businesses that don't want to be average. You know what I mean? I don't want to work with the businesses that I don't want to work with average business owners. Because the average business owner is average and wants to be average. They're average for a reason. That's their average. You know what I mean? It's not going to change. I want to be with the business owner who knows they're not average, but they know, maybe they're at an average level, but they know that's not where they're supposed to be. That's not who they are. And they know there's other levels. And so I realized that's how I have to market. I have to market myself. I have to become more magnetic and understand how those people are thinking, and put myself in more environments where, boom, that connection will be made. And I recognize, if the average business owner isn't, if most businesses are playing more average, then they're probably not going to be interested in what I'm selling. I have to find the star, the one who's like, yo, the top G. You got to find the top G business. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. You know? And so I have to, and I recognize within myself, I recognize that I think my only thing is I just need to market myself more. And through the marketing, you convey your value and how that can be of value to someone else. You know what I'm saying? So getting better at displaying your value. That's the number one thing with a business. Ask yourself, why do people like our business? Why do people like to come to this chiropractor or this grocery store or this, you know, law firm or this real estate? Why do people like this real estate? You know what I'm saying? Like, why, like, what's the attraction? And knowing how to attract them, that's how you will know how to speak and communicate to them, to be able to give them like whatever they need, like whatever service you have. And you can get more targeted. That's how you get more targeted. That's how you run great advertising. You know what I'm saying? When it connects. And I think that's like, and I believe you learn that through the analytics of creating content on social media. You know, like, I feel like that's another thing, man. It's like, you got to find the businesses that I think it's really about not finding them finding me. You got to attract it. You got to attract it. I got to stay back to the mindset. It's about magnetism. And so from a physical unit, you as a person, you got to ask yourself, you know, if you're the type of person who's like me, and he's like, yo, I know I deserve more, I can have more, I feel like I can like really like, I want to do something. Maybe you want to do something more than just the average thing. Maybe you have a big dream, you have a purpose. You feel like you that nigga, you feel like you the one. It's like, boom, we have to look at ourselves and be like, all right, how do I become more magnetized? And I know who I want, who I'm going to attract to, whether it's a business owner, whether it's a relationship, whether it's just a reality, a situation that you want to be in. We have to magnetize ourselves to that. And that comes from, you know, I think for me, looking at all this stuff that I just said, and then like putting it into practice. I said a lot right there. I fucking know I said a lot. I'm gonna work on talking and looking at the camera at the same time. Because that's something that I feel like, maybe like, this translates when I'm talking to people. Maybe like, I could be better at, I don't know, communicating. Maybe I'll look off a lot. I don't know, that's a habit. I'm like, oh, this is like a practice. So that's aside now. Sorry to break the fourth wall. It's like I just automatically understand the glory of, oh, thank you. Thank you. And glory is that's a very charming word. I appreciate that. You know, I'm almost just like, you know, you could call it ranting, you could call it yapping, but I really just not even looking at that. I'm like, I have value to give. I feel like I have real shit to say, and I'm not saying, sometimes I don't say it always perfect. I'm getting better. I feel like I say it good. Say how good I think I just gotta get better at just doing it. You know what I'm saying? And do it and knowing how to collaborate with communication, and also knowing how to just collaborate. Knowing how to collaborate, but then knowing how to be true to yourself, you know? And I think like that is one of the things that like, I just feel like with the world is changing. And I believe that the way people look at the world isn't allowing them to live their best fucking life. And then the problem, and the biggest problem is the crime, is that we justify this way of living as normal, and we allow ourselves, we basically defend our weakness, what's making us weak, what's not allowing us to be our best self. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, people can't see it, dude. It's like the NPC land. The whole world is becoming like that. Like, when you really go out in the world, you're like, damn, like, once you start waking up, once you start being like, I don't want to say the chosen, when you feel like the chosen one, like you're like conscious, and you're like seeing this game, you're in the game, you're like, holy shit, I'm plugged in the game. What the fuck? You start to notice how many people don't realize they're in the game. And they don't realize it. It's so crazy. All right, guys, I got 1%. Thank you so much. Hey, Bree, thank you so much for commenting and checking in. I appreciate that. I'm gonna head out. I got 1% left. I'll be back. We'll charge up. We'll be back. Thank you so much for tapping in. Peace out.